We are live. Okay. Hello, and welcome to episode 5 of the Helpdesk podcast, where I, your host, ronnbizzy, talk to you, the listener, about anything and everything around social media. Hopefully, trying to give you some great tips on how you can start building your social network platform. And for today's guest, we have Adam Ferry. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. I should have asked you earlier. But
Sorry.
so Adam is is doing quite well in terms of networking on LinkedIn. Not only that, but he is going to be related to me by marriage soon because he just got
So
engaged to my cousin Catherine. So congratulations to you both.
we
Did Was that a good introduction? Was I?
That was a good introduction. It was almost like Jimmy Fallon, bro.
I wish. If only. If only. Yeah. So let's just get started with it. I mean, how did you even think about building your LinkedIn network?
Like to start off with, it was something I guess that I've been building it for like 5 years. And it was just being on there, checking it out, and just promoting your job, where you're working, and stuff like that. And it's almost like a virtual resume kind of thing. And over the years, I've just been building it up and building it up. Like not putting material on there and stuff. It's more so networking and going through them channels.
Oh, actually, sorry to kind of derail us, but I totally forgot. I always do this. I didn't do the actual introduction of how we know each other. So, yes, of course, Adam is now engaged to my cousin Catherine, but the first time I met him was actually at a bar for my cousin's birthday. And it was the
Yeah.
funniest thing because this was back during the time when I used to do vlogs. And Adam comes up to me, he's like, mate, I've watched all your vlogs, they're great. I'm like, oh, dude, this guy's in. Catherine, he's the one. So that was one of my first memories of meeting Adam. And then I think the following night we had dinner as well to celebrate. And at that time, I was doing a 6 week challenge where I had to lose 6% body fat in 6 weeks. And you helped me out with that. You gave me some pro tips on what I could do. And we'll also go from talking about LinkedIn into segue into to talking about health and mental health, which is something close to Adam's heart. All right,
Yeah.
so back to LinkedIn. Okay, so the reason why I found out that Adam has 7,500 plus connections over LinkedIn, which to me, when he first told me, was pretty crazy. Just because I only have a couple hundred. Like I just kept it to the people who I've worked with, and to be honest, it's mostly just my workmates. But yeah, Adam was telling me the importance of building your network and just getting in touch with recruiters. And like he said, it's a virtual CV. So this is something for them to see and for
Yeah.
and it's a tool to help you land a job essentially. And not only that, it's just planting the seeds as well. So the bigger your network is, if you were to say today, Adam, oh, I'm looking for a job, every one of those recruiters will hit you up, you know?
It's majority of the time, like I guess when you've got the recruiters and you're connecting with the recruiters via LinkedIn or something like that, obviously they're going to go for the kind of speciality what you've got, like the trades and stuff like that. And I guess like a lot of people they go into and they look into like your education and stuff like that, but it's more so like your work experiences and the people who you're following on LinkedIn, because social media now as a platform is quite powerful. And it's unbelievable how how the recruiters can job like headhunt you and stuff like that. But they're not so much like taking you away from where you're working at the minute. It's more like, here's a I'm recruiting this job. You look like a good candidate. Go through there. But it also there's a lot of content on LinkedIn as well. Talking about e-commerce and the social media influencers and stuff.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because I used to work for an airline, I follow quite a few
Yeah.
airline related people, and I just have everything about what's going on in Australia, and it's not pretty.
Mm.
In terms of international and domestic travel, it's not looking good for Virgin Australia and Qantas at the moment. So yeah, it's
Didn't like
really
Virgin, or was it Tiger that's obviously made like gone now or
work.
been kind
Yeah,
of abolished?
I was part of Tiger Air, and
Ah, I see.
unfortunately, their doors have closed. I actually just got told today that um whoever still had a laptop had to bring it in because they're returning it to the
Jeez.
vendor. Yeah, so things are really going down. But yeah, let's talk about how you built your network. What was that process, and what are some tips that you can give people who are actually trying to build their network specifically around whatever their field is?
Yeah, like the few good. That's a good question to ask in like how to build your network. Like what I found probably 4 points that were really good to me. So it would be like complete your profile, like start talking, give and receive recommendations and endorsements to other people as well. So share the love kind of thing. So when you share that endorsement, someone is obviously saying like, yeah, you're good at sales, you're good at project management, all that kind of stuff. And then as well like producing engaging content and stuff, and also like use LinkedIn groups is what I found quite helpful.
Oh wow! So first of all, I like that you mentioned that about completing your profile because yes, like YouTube videos, as I mentioned in the last podcast that I did with A Miller, my
Yeah.
friend Angelo, you need to give yourself as many chances as possible for people to find your content. So whether it be the title, the thumbnail, even doing things like having subtitles on if you're doing a video, that helps as
Yeah.
well. Because like on Facebook, they've got videos, and like most people, they're just scrolling through. But if you have a text so they can actually see what you're saying, that increases the engagement and the watch time. So you're exactly
Yeah.
right. Having a complete profile, having those endorsements as well, that just helps people say, oh yeah, look, like this person is liked, they're good at what they do. X amount of people are saying yes, they can do this job. So, oh, sorry about that. So yes, this person may be a good fit.
Yeah.
I really do like how you mentioned that. But is there anything in particular with your profile that you should and shouldn't be doing? Because I know one for me when I was trying to be super active on LinkedIn and building my network, I
Mm.
gave a bit too much technical detail around the work that I was doing because I'm in IT, and
Yeah.
so the head of IT security at Virgin Australia actually hit me up and was like, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to take down most of that technical jargon, or just take down the photo altogether."
Yeah.
I was like, "Okay," so I edited it and just said work. But yeah, so back to the question: what do you think? Anything specific to help?
Like, not. I guess it's more so like I kept it short and sweet. That's the biggest one for me. Like I put my workplace and stuff like that where I'm working and stuff. But I kept it kind of short and sweet. On some of the roles and responsibilities, it's almost like it's just going back to a CV. You kind of keep it as short and sweet and to the point as quick as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So if like recruiters or other people outside of the business kind of like have a look at your profile and go, okay, he can do this, he can do that, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much where it will be sitting with it.
Yeah, I mean, is there anything that you're targeting? So let's say if you're going for a job, do you update your roles and responsibilities to match whatever it is in that job description? Or do you just leave it as a general?
Well, that's going back to a CV. If you're going to use LinkedIn, you don't really need to put that kind of content because what will happen is you'll actually send your CV to say to like a recruiter or something like that because that's quite personal. Some of the stuff what you're going to be putting on there, but
Of
just
course.
your roles and responsibilities, you just keep like very bland kind of stuff.
Of course. Okay. And in terms of building your network, I remember you telling me that you're going to networking events as well. Tell me about
Yeah.
that.
So like back in Perth when I would be over there, it would be like some networking events, like a thing called WOWGA, which is called Western Australia Local Government Authority. So you would go and see different people, and those people would be prominently to do with like the local government. So that would be either project managers who work within the local government, or whether that would be purchase officers or stuff, or even graduates working within that government. And then that's how you meet you meet people is by grabbing their card, and the majority of them they're all on LinkedIn. So you just add them on LinkedIn, and then what happens is they'll either contact you or you'll contact them, and then you'll meet some other people within their LinkedIn group, and then that's how you go through your networking.
Dude, that's pretty insane that you've built up a network of 7,500 people. Because it
Yeah.
would have just started off with, I guess, your little seed would have been starting off at Perth at Wagga, or whatever it was called, sorry. And then, yeah, from there, it'd be everyone from their network that's adding you, right? And just
Yeah, it's
like,
like one big massive thing, and it's not just so. I guess as well, like so you would add some people from your other business. So whether you worked at like different organisations and stuff, so you'll go and be like, oh, I know him from so and so. I'll add him, and then what he'll do, he'll add you. But then someone, when they add you, they might go, oh well, I've not spoken to him for ages, so I'll add him. And then what happens is, as soon as you grow from like, I'd say, as soon as you've probably got about 2,000 people, it starts that people just randomly started adding you that you might know or you might not know. And some of them are influencers and some of them are like, motivational speakers, which is really cool. And you see their content. So it just starts to grow. But you have to put work in it to get to a point. Today, I had two people just adding me, but I didn't know them, but they were kind of like motivational speakers. And then you would add them, and then you've got recruiters adding you because you live in Melbourne and you're open to different opportunities and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you know what? With that, I follow this person called Gary Vaynerchuk or Gary V. Again, I was talking about him in my previous podcast, and he's just saying how he actually called that TikTok was gonna boom before it boomed. It was actually an app called Musically, and he was saying maybe 3 or 4 years ago, if you haven't already jumped on this app, you need to be on it because it's gonna explode, and when it does, you'll be able to take advantage of it. And he's saying that LinkedIn is going to be the next Facebook because right now the reach that you get on it is crazy. I mean, I posted up a video of how to do video conferencing setup, so something like what we're doing here.
Yeah.
1,500 views. I mean, that doesn't sound like a big number, right? But in comparison to what it got on my YouTube channel, which was like maybe 50 views, that's a massive jump. And so in terms of advertising or putting out whatever content you want, you definitely get a lot more reach, and the algorithm hasn't changed yet for other people's favor at the moment. So it is the platform I think that people should be working on in terms of if they've got a business and they want to advertise or whatever it is kind of marketing that they're doing. It's definitely a place that I'm trying to invest my time in. But to be honest, I haven't been doing too much lately because COVID and all.
Yeah, if you think about it, like Gary Vee, for instance, he was, I think he's born in the 70s, and then pretty much what he did was gone from, like, helped his family business within wine critics.
That's right.
And he's gone from $6 million to, like, I think it was like $30 or $60 million. It was one or the other. I was reading up a bit of a blog.
Yeah, he wants to own the New York Jets. That's his goal, and he's not afraid to say it. And a little bit more about Gary Vee. Sorry, this is going way off topic in terms of LinkedIn, but he also is really big into collecting trading cards. Yeah, baseball cards and basketball. And so I love basketball. So I actually started collecting last December. And it was just like I walked into Kmart. I saw that there was cards there, and it was only like $4. I'm like, all right, I'll buy a couple, see what happens. And then I just got really deep into it. And he was saying, look, I'm telling you, it's about to blow up. You should get into it now. That's what he's telling everybody who was listening to it. I now own a card. I pulled a card out of a packet that was originally $20. This card is worth $1,500.
Yeah.
So he was absolutely right. For those of you wondering, it's a Mosaic Ja Morant rookie card silver. If I get it graded, I could get $1,500 or more dollars. But yeah, anyways, back to the main topic of conversation. Just saying that Gary Vee, definitely check him out if you haven't already. I'll have that link down below so that people can find his social platforms as well as Adam's LinkedIn.
get another bunch of people going on.
Yeah, that's it, man. Hopefully, get you to 8,000. All right. So, what good things have come out of you using LinkedIn?
Good things would be definitely exposure from recruiters. That's one thing. Like, it's just something, I guess, for people who are working in the professional industry and stuff like that, even if you're a tradie, whatever, you get that exposure from the recruiters, and you might get some, like, other companies who don't even have recruiters but might have like a little bit of an HR department, or maybe some directors, and might just give you a job offer or something like that. It might be something that you want to be moving into, kind of thing. So yeah, that has given me exposure from that point, and I guess that's the main one of the main reasons as well. And it's not so I'm not much of a vlogger or an influencer or anything like that, but I guess it's just a good thing that you're obviously getting that out of LinkedIn.
Hey, you know what? I've got an idea. Let's try an experiment. Let's put up a post. Hey, my friend Ron DeQuina is looking for an IT role around the IT operations space. Is there anyone in my network that can help him out? Let's see what kind of response we'll get.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go for it.
And then we'll post the results on the like let's say a week from now on whatever episode podcast we get up to. I think that'll be super interesting.
We'll see what it gets and whether you get some likes. And I guess within the recruitment industry, I can guarantee there must be one or
Yeah,
two
that's right.
that will come out of it.
There has to be one or two, and this will prove, like, this little experiment will show the power of LinkedIn and having a large network. So yeah, that'll be cool. Hey,
Let's just see.
yeah, good luck to me because I need a job.
10%, I get 10% commission, bro.
Hey, hey, that's between you and the recruiter, bro. I don't mind. I just need a job. I need to pay them bills. All right.
Man.
What was I gonna say? All right, let's talk about health. And dude, prior to me meeting Adam, he was really fit. In terms of food, what was it like for you in diet and training? What kind of training were you doing?
So me and my friend Grayson, we used to gym together. This was back in Perth and everything like that. We used to gym together quite a lot. I guess I would probably go to the gym like 6 days a week and have Sundays off because it's a holy day and all. You know, you've got to keep that real. But yeah, look, we were gymming 6 days a week. He would live probably about 15 k's away from me, so we would probably gym maybe three times a week, and then the rest of the time I was doing by myself. But it would be like in vigorous, like 2 hours training or 2.5 hours training at a time. And I was doing it way too much, like way too much. But the results, what you got, were just impeccable. Like it was really good. Obviously, taking like protein and creatine and stuff like that, which we're doing. But the diet, what consists of for 6 whole months, was just chicken, sweet potato, broccoli. That's it. That is what you're having, 4 times a week. So I'll give you a quick rundown of the actual training or the routine of the day, is what I'd like to call it. Is you would wake up in the morning, like 6 o'clock in the morning, yeah? You would have diluted lemon juice to flush out your kidneys from the creatine. So because you're obviously taking too much creatine, you've got to be careful of your kidneys.
Yeah, that's right.
You would have like a pint of diluted lemon juice, but you would have a pint of water pretty much with it. And then you would, straight after that, you'll wake up, you'll probably go for a 5-minute run around the block to just get your blood moving. Then you would have oats, 300 grams of oats and blueberries mixed in with some protein. So that would probably be at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Man.
It just keeps and then the next one was 11 o'clock. You would have your first meal. Then at 1 o'clock you would have your second meal. Then at 4 o'clock you would have your fourth meal.
So when you're saying first meal, second meal, third meal, are these all
sweet potato, chicken, and broccoli?
Damn.
You're not allowed no sauce. You're not allowed no manta mass. You're not allowed anything, bro. I'm serious. You're not allowed anything.
So for those of you who aren't Filipino, manta mas is like a liver sauce in the Philippines. Or they like to call it the all-purpose sauce. It just goes good with everything.
Some people, like, each person has a different taste bud, but I'm pretty sure that's the same as the Big Mac sauce. It's like the same kind of it's not the same texture.
So in terms of goal setting, what was it for you? Did you have a plan on like what weight you want to reach by a certain month or in a couple of weeks, or how strong you wanted to be lifting? What was keeping you going during that whole process?
Like, I guess for some people it would be like, right, I want to go into like being like physically, well, not be like just going to like competitions and stuff like that and doing that kind of stuff. But for me, it was a bit more personal. It was the fact that I wanted to. It helped my mental health, if you know what I mean. Like, it was not just something where it was like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to be super fit, I want to be really buff and all of that. It was never that. It was the fact that I was hiding something. That was obviously my mental health. So it was covering it up for me.
Yeah, and actually, before we talk about the topic of mental health, for me personally, it was all about aesthetics. I just wanted to look good, man. But at the same time, I was super duper competitive, so I loved seeing how heavy I can lift. And people won't believe me, I was pushing 130 in my heyday on the bench press, 130 kilograms. So that I felt like that was a really proud moment. I think when we trained together a couple months ago, you got me to 110, I think, or maybe even higher. And I was like, dude, this is insane. Like, he was spotting me. Like before, I could just go do maybe 110 without a spot, and I was pretty damn proud.
It was like an Arnold Schwarzenegger moment. Like you can do it, you can do it.
But that's what you need, and just having someone there gives you some mental strength to push it through. Because I know sometimes when like I'm spotting for a friend, I'll literally just do this to the bar, and then they'll just magically lift it up, and I'm literally not doing anything other than that. I'm not putting any pressure on that. I've just got it there, and it just gives someone that extra bit of strength. I guess it's like what they say about like a woman and like if there was a like a truck on their baby or something, she'd be able to lift it up.
They would definitely. I'm telling you, like a mother with their cub, I can tell you, they'll do anything.
Yeah, exactly. So we just need to tap into that mental strength somehow every time at the gym, and then we'll be ripped. But yeah, onto a more serious topic that you want to talk about, mental health and your journey with it. I'm gonna let you drive the show. To be honest, I don't know too much about this topic in general, so if I ask anything silly, you know, I'm sorry, just in advance.
Yeah. Oh, look, ever since I was a young kid, I guess really with mental health, some people say you're born with it. Some people, like, there's speculations, there's heaps of speculations out there. But it wasn't something that you're born with. It's obviously something that's developed over time. And the problem is that's why people say, get on to early psychology as quick as possible. Is because I've been dealing with probably mental health since I was probably 6. Really, it got really bad at like 16, really bad. And from that point, it was like, what are you going to do? I never went to a psychologist. I never went to a counselor. I never did anything, and I was masking it up. And that's the worst thing possible. What you can do with mental health, because it's only a ticking time bomb. One day it's going to explode, and pretty much that's what happened. Um, I'd say that's what happened when I was about 25. 25 is when it happened.
So before you explain what happened when you were 25, what did you say it started when you were 6?
16, really.
Oh, 16. Okay, I was gonna say, damn, that's really young. So, what did you start to notice about it? Like, what changes were happening, like, in your mind that was making you feel a certain sort of way?
The biggest one would probably be isolation. You feel isolated for no apparent reason, and that's the biggest trigger. What I found for myself was isolation and not talking to people. Like nowadays, it's really open. Like the whole thing of "Are you okay?" day. That's really powerful to people because it gives that opportunity to open yourself up. But before that, not many people asked me, "Was I okay?" or anything like that. And then what happened was you just enclosed in your own self.
So, like, what thoughts are going through your head during this, like, isolation? Just,
Yeah, look, it's a real big one, really. The biggest thought was like you can't be on this planet for much longer.
fuck, that's deep, man. Sorry to swear on my own
Oh,
podcast.
look, no, and I think this is the biggest thing. It's about giving exposure to mental health because I feel like some people really need to understand how big mental health is in this very day, like this day right now, or this day and age kind of thing. It's huge.
So, if back when you were 16,
Yeah.
would you just wanted anyone to say, look, hey, are you doing okay? Is there something wrong? Like, how would you want them to approach it? Or how would you have approached it differently? What would you tell yourself, like, when you were 16?
It's a good question because that's never been really brought up. So kudos to you, bro. Bringing this question up. I think the biggest one would just be is everything all right, or are you okay right now? Like, how you fit? Is everything going right, bro? If you need someone to talk to, I can talk to. No, like that never happened.
And the thing is, because especially, I guess, with the male gender in general,
Yeah.
we don't like to talk about that kind of stuff, right? Like me, I'm pretty open about how I'm feeling. I'm a bit too open and honest about how I'm feeling. But I mean, for other people, I could imagine it's just like, dude, I'm just being like, people are just gonna be, oh, you're just being soft, hiding up, mate, or something like that.
Yeah, no, 100%. And the whole, I guess that dates back to like I'd say centuries where men cover up their own emotions.
Mhm.
They're really good at doing that. No, everything's fine, mate. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm fine. I'm right as rain. But behind closed doors, they're probably going through war with themselves. That's the problem.
So what was it when you were 22 or 25 when?
Yeah, look, when I was 25, so what can I remember? I remember coming, like, there was a few problems going through, and I had this. So what I was diagnosed with was generalized anxiety disorder, and also depression. But the anxiety was focused around health anxiety. It's one of these things. So everyone's got their own different things what they're suffering with mental health. But in like it's open and honest. In February, no, in yeah, when I was 25, I believed I had bowel cancer. Right? No, serious. This is a gospel truth. I believed I had bowel cancer, and what
Oh, you
happened was
believed? I thought you said you had it. I was like,
no, I believed I had it, and then because I looked and I went on to and I was attached to this one thing, I went through 6 months of going through doctors, going to physicians, and all of that, and I was fixated that I believed I had something. And this is what the power of your mind can do.
Yeah.
Paranoia, big
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
And then I went down from being probably about 69 kilos. I went down within 6 months to around about 58. So I stopped eating. I was isolating myself. I was doing this, and then what happened? It was a form. It was yeah. It just went through all this thing, and it was really terrible. But I'm open and honest about what happened and stuff like that. And then it got to a stage where enough was enough, and I had to be put into a mental health unit. And then I was in there for 4 days, and then I came out of there because they put me on the right medication and stuff like that, and gave me a bit of therapy and stuff. But and if I didn't have that, I can honestly say I probably wouldn't be here today.
Damn, man. So, what kind of steps were they taking to kind of get you on that right path again?
Biggest one, I guess it's just to give you a mental, like a kind of like a plan about what you're going to do. And, you've got to be, maybe your chemicals in your brain are in balance, so you've got to be on the right medication. That was the first one. The second one is to go to therapy. So that will be either with a caseworker or a mental health worker. Then the third one would be go to a specialist. So you need to go to a psychologist. And the fourth one would be constant review of your medication, which is a psychiatrist. So there were four major things that you needed to be or needed to have before you could get kind of on the right path.
And so, when did you start to feel like quote unquote okay? Like, how
Probably,
long did that take to get you to that point?
I'd say I'm probably now at the best I've ever been
Mm.
because and it's took me. So you got to think to yourself the way you started to feel normal or kind of right or happy. It's taken really from 16 to now.
And what were the key things to make you feel happy or get you in that right kind of frame of mind?
I'd say to get the therapy, and finding someone who like for me it would be your cousin. You know what I mean?
Shout outs, Catherine.
Yeah, shout out. She's really been the rock of everything. She's got me on the right path. She's the most incredible person ever, and the greatest thing of all, she's a nurse, so she knows. She knows. Come on, shout out to the nurses right there.
Yay, shout outs. Like in the
Frontline
UK, how
workers.
we're gonna clap for the NHS, we need to clap for our nurses over here. So
Yeah. And that's what I mean, man. So yeah, she's gave me, yeah, she's been there for me and everything like that. And then the second biggest thing was therapy to get me on the right path.
all right, and so again, going back to trying to help others out who might be listening to this and trying to seek help, are, is there any websites or any organizations you can recommend or suggest they call so they can kind of get some of that assistance like what you got?
Yeah, look, there's a lot of websites out there nowadays, but Beyond Blue was is obviously a big one, and everyone knows Beyond Blue.
Yeah.
But I guess I never really, I, I never really went onto websites to help me out. My way of getting out of kind of like the pickle that I was in was just to have that really supportive family going on.
Yeah.
And trying to talk to people, as many people as you can, as talk about your emotions to the people who you can trust and who you can rely on. But And also going to a gym. A gym helped you completely. Release the endorphins, gave you that real positive vibes going on. And yeah, that's really where it will be.
Yeah, actually, I wanted to talk about that. The gym. So, apart from the endorphins being released and whatever, what was it that that gave you that kind of release? I guess I don't know. What made you happy to be going to the gym and getting your mind right?
I guess to that it was the fact like okay you've had a
Driven.
yeah kind of but it would be like for me is like okay if you're an office worker you've been behind your desk all day you've not had probably the best day of your life working or whatever at that point. But then going to a gym and just blasting it out as much as you can and just really getting out all your anger, your frustration and everything. And then when you start I guess to the point, just going on to what you were saying, when you start seeing your aesthetics of your body growing and growing, it's like wow, this is just a big massive thing. I've got to keep going. I've got to keep going. And then you've got like really corny things. And you've probably got Arnold in the background saying, yeah, you can do it, you can do it.
Bro, for sure. Watching Pumping
One more
Iron.
rep.
Yeah, that's it, bro. Like, there's a few not safe for work things we can say that he mentioned in Pumping Iron that really gets you motivated. So,
Oh
And
man.
it's next level stuff. I'm telling you.
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, for me, it was just I think physical activity makes me happy, right? So today, for example, um, I went and played basketball, and I don't know if you know, I tore my ACL when I was in London, and so
Yeah.
it just hasn't been the same since. And I guess due to the inactivity during this whole Melbourne lockdown, which is, yeah, so I guess due to the inactivity, as I was saying earlier, it's I think my knees just gotten weaker. So I played basketball last week, and I noticed that my knee was sore. I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel right anymore, and it felt super loose for a couple of days. So now I'm wearing a knee brace. Today it felt good. We actually put the basketball on the street because we're in a kind of cul-de-sac area. I don't know
Yeah.
if you remember, like right next to the garage, there's like a little area where we could
Yeah.
put the basketball ring. So I put it there, and Swiss's dad and I were shooting around. It's all good, and all of a sudden, I'm like, oh man, this thing feels like weak, and like I'm walking with a limp again. So I iced it up. But even though that happened, back to the main story. Um, I was just happy being out there playing basketball, shooting, and just getting some energy out, right? And yesterday, we've got we're luckily we have a punching bag here and some focus pads. So we're
Yeah.
doing a bit of boxing, and man, that is probably one of the best stress relievers right there. Just imagining someone's face that you don't like, or just taking out all your frustration on the punching bag or on the mitts. It's it's awesome. So I can see why for you it was going to the gym and just pumping iron and seeing those results.
Yeah, but the problem, I guess, the biggest problem what I had was the fact that I went to the gym 6 times a week, right? And the worst thing that I didn't have a routine like saying, all right, I'm going there for an hour at a time. I wasted a lot of I didn't waste time as if I look back on it, it was awesome. But I missed out on so many family dinners and so many family events because I said I'm going to the gym.
Yeah, I mean, but
You've got to find that happy medium. Honestly, you have to.
yeah, I definitely understand because there's I know that with especially with bodybuilders, they sacrifice a lot, and it's you've got to be selfish if you want to get. Well, you don't have to be, but if the more selfish you are, I think the better the results will be.
Yeah.
Because it's things like you've got to eat your own food. You know, you can't go to all these fancy dinners or whatever, or go to a fast food joint and
Yeah.
just like eat all the macas that you can. You gotta be strict with it, and that means even if you're celebrating with like your partner, your friend, whoever it is, whatever it is, whatever the
Yeah.
occasion is, you've got to bring your own meal, and you just gotta eat it.
That's what I mean. Like it was very strict the diet what I was having to get the results to where I was going and stuff like that. But like now, what I'm happy doing is walking, going for a walk, going for like 45 minutes to an hour walk every day. I do probably 100 press ups and then I do 50 diamond press ups as well per day. And I enjoy doing that, even though we can't go to the gyms now because we're obviously in Victoria. We're still on like stage 4 lockdown,
Yeah.
FYI.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are the things that I'm happy doing now, and that's like I look forward to that part of my day is because I'm like, yes, now I can get that real good endorphins going, and it's about like that having that never give up spirit kind of thing, you know.
For sure, bro. And like, dude, I can't wait till we can hit the gyms again and travel further than 5 kilometers, because we'll definitely hit it back up. But in terms of, because you're obviously working hard at the gym,
Yeah.
I always like to say, work smart, not hard. So if you were to try and reach the physique that you're at before, and just so the people listening know,
Yeah.
what percentage were you at in terms of body fat? Do you know?
So I think I got, when I did my BMI, so I'm trying to remember this now. So I think it was around 9% body fat. What I was at 9%, right? And then my weight when I was gymming was about, I think about 69 kilos, and my bone mass. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So I was 69 kilos. Sorry, my muscle mass was about 62 kilos. But I kid you not, like it was next level. Like you'll have to be so strict in getting where you were.
All right. I'm gonna try to do some research, and if I do, there'll be a photo here or somewhere on the screen of Adam in his peak form. Adam, share that photo with me, please. And yeah, but that's pretty insane. I mean, so for that 6 week training, a lot of people were very suspect about what percentage body fat I was at. But dude, come on. I went from like 76, 77 kilos down to 69, 68 kilos in 6
That was
weeks.
when you, is it the Muay Thai? When
Yeah, I was doing Muay Thai training.
Yeah, okay.
Like, they're using calipers to test me, so I guess it's not as accurate, but it was consistent. So it was the same person using the same calipers, and we tested multiple times, and we take the average of those results. So to all the people who were saying it wasn't legit, it was consistent results. Whatever it was consistent results. So
That's the
just
main
putting it out
thing.
there. Yeah. So I don't care what you say. I still lost the weight, and I still was looking good for that 1 or 2 weeks, because then I got super sick and I just lost it all. But anyways, anything else about mental health that you'd like to put out there for the people listening?
Like, you know, when we have dark days and stuff like that, we've just got to keep moving forward. Like there is, as much as people say sometimes there's not light at the end of the tunnel and stuff. It will get better, but it's just that hard. It's just going through that hard, painstaking times that you'll be currently going through to move forward. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Hey, for sure. And honestly, things will get better. I know right now, not that I feel down or anything, but you know, I would like to start working again, and I would like to start contributing towards a company and doing something with my 8 hours a day from 9 to 5, whatever it is. It's just, it would make me feel like I'm accomplishing more than what I'm currently doing. But the positives that I can take out of it is I'm doing this podcast now, which I never had the time to do. Or I always gave myself an excuse. And yeah, I think I've been making some good use out of my time. Yeah, I've been playing a fair bit of Warzone, but I've been streaming it, so it's not going unwasted. And yeah, just guys, like Adam said, there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Part of his light was my cousin. So again, shouts to my cousin, and these guys are getting married. So if you've made it this far, I want you to type in the comments section, congrats, Adam and Catherine. That'd be amazing if you guys do that. And yeah, it's just, I was really happy when you messaged me regarding sharing your story and talking about mental health and wanting to share tips about LinkedIn and how it's helped you out, Adam.
Yeah, look, that's the main thing, is just to help people out, and like LinkedIn and stuff like that. So when I was going through even that kind of like really bad time in my life and stuff, there was, you know, in the background, just after that I started my LinkedIn. So it was almost like this has been with me pretty much from a journey onwards. So, you know, and like hoping that I can help people with LinkedIn and stuff like that. You know, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a powerful tool to have, and let's do that experiment and see whether we get any hits.
Yeah, for sure. So we'll definitely see if Adam's 7K strong network can get me a job, and if they do, how long does it take? So I know I'm ready. I've been ready for interviews and my CVs and my cover letters. I'm not worried about that. All I need is that little extra push of my name through the door, because right now, any average job, anywhere between 80 to 100 people apply for it within the first couple of days. And that never used to be a thing. So it is quite difficult, but I will get there. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. And on that note, thank you for watching Ron Busy's Help Desk. Hopefully you have learned something and gained value, anything of great value to you. And thank you, Adam, again for joining us. And
No worries, man.
we'll catch you on the
Nice.
next one.
Awesome. No worries.
Yeah, so actually my next guest after this is my friend Jules, aka Anxious Squid Productions on YouTube, who grew his network to about 4,000 on YouTube. And he started doing YouTube after me. He contacted me about my vlogs because he really liked it. But yeah, I'll talk more about that later. And also another guest is my friend Marielle, who was on season 1 of Lego Masters. So that's going to be super cool to talk to her. But yes, thank you for watching. Subscribe, check out Adam's LinkedIn, and we'll update you on whether or not I got a job or some hits. All right, catch you guys.
Peace.